So in today's video, we're going to take two pieces of metal and rivet them together with rivets to become one. But first, you have to make holes for them to go into. You're going to need some very special tools. This tool, you put it in the spot you need it in, push directly down, and you see this very sharp tip? It makes a spot in the metal for your drill tip to drill into and not slide all over the metal. The tip you're going to be needing is a 40 if you are going to be using these stubby ones or the squeeze ones. But if you are going to use the pull-outs with this long part, you are going to need a 40, which is somewhere in here. A 30 is bigger than the 40. So before you can draw your lines, you have to know which side is the top and bottom. And you need to know where you are going to draw your lines. Dad, can you help me out with this?
Okay, so I'm glad we talked about upside down and right side up, which is the top and which is the bottom. This piece is actually going to be used to pretend it's structure, like a rib or like a stringer. This piece is going to be used like the skin. So we're going to figure out how to attach skin to the structure so that they can become one piece together. And so we're going to do this for practice, okay? The plans would ordinarily spell out exactly what to do. They would tell you very cleanly or have the parts pre-drilled, which makes all the guesswork gone because it's already there for us. That's what Sonics is really cool for doing. But we're just doing this part for practice, and so in order to figure out how to do it right, we're going to use the books for reference. The Standard Aircraft Handbook or Sport Plane Construction Techniques from the EAA. Both of these books are the gold standard, the best of the best for how to do this if you're figuring it out on your own. If you don't know where to look, the answer is probably going to be in there, okay? The answer is based on the size of your rivet head and the rivet shank. So the shank is this part, the head is the big part. So we need to measure our diameter of our shank. So we look at the fine gradient right here, and we look and see that that is 1/8 of an inch wide, right? Okay, so the next thing we need to do is go 2.5 times our edge distance. So what's 2.5? Right here. 1, 2.5. That is just more than a quarter, just less than 3/8. So that would be 5/16, but that's getting pretty specific. The easiest way to do it for an 1/8 of an inch or a 3/32 rivet, so you don't have to do math all the time, is just to go to 3/8 for all of your edge distance lines. Does that make sense? So that is the easy way to do it. It's the shortcut. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark on our skin 3/8 from the edge. So we'll put a mark right here at 3/8. And we'll put a mark right here at 3/8. Then we take and draw a straight line between those two. And that is our line for our rivets. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, now what I want you to notice, if we put this together next to our workpiece, that's not going to be in the middle of that flange. So if we're only doing one row of rivets, we wouldn't put it there. We'd put it in the middle of this. But we're going to do 2 rows, so that means we're going to offset them in a stagger. You know what a stagger is?
No. Can you explain that?
Yes. So if we went down both sides of this ruler, we put 1 inch here, we put 2 inch here, we put 3 inch here, 4" here. So they go in a zigzag pattern. Does that make sense?
So like zigzagging down the ruler?
Yeah, like zigzagging down the ruler. So we'll have 2 lines and the rivets will stagger. So now we're going to do it on the other side of the piece. So let's set this down on the table and have you do the line. Mark your 3/8.
Which is right here.
No, it's right on the 1" line. So right on the,
Right
there's the 1" line. And then we're going to move it up here. And we're going to go to the, wait, make sure you're lined up before you mark. See how we're on 3/8? Nope. There you go. There's your 1" mark. Cool. Now we'll take the ruler and lay it across. Wait, before we get it set, before you get the pen close, there's your line. Now draw your line. Now, we also, don't do it without the ruler. You always draw straight edges with the ruler. Straight lines with the ruler. Cool. So next thing we need to do is figure out our spacing. Okay? The spacing is also spelled out, but 1/2" spacing is a really good way to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back in 1/2 inch from the corner. I'm looking at your ruler. Okay, step backwards, please. Looking at your ruler, we're going to go 1/2" spacing. So there's the end, there's a 1/2. There's the 1 inch, there's 1 1/2 inches. There's the 2 inch, there's the 2 1/2. There's the 3 and the 3 1/2. Except we decided we were going to stagger. So now,
don't we need to fold this over?
Yep, let's fold that over so we can write on it. So now, we're going to take on these and we're going to transfer, but you're going to do it. Here you go, here's the pen. And on the stagger, we're going to put it at the 1. That's not the 1. There's the 1. At the 2.
2.
And at the 3.
And the 3.
Okay, and now because we made a mistake in putting it on every 1/2 inch, we want to make an X on those. So we'll put an X, and an X. So the only ones we're going to use are the ones that have the tick marks. Next, we're going to use the center punch to make a mark in the metal so that we get a clean start to our drill bit. So we're going to go up to our sacrificial piece of wood. We're going to go onto our ticks. So we put it on that mark and just push straight down. Okay, your turn. We're going to go in the zigzags. So put it on the mark. Put it on the mark. There you go. And push. See, Daddy's going to be doing a couple of these center point marks.
Yeah, you are.
I'll get the last 2. We're going to have to practice this some so you get your strength up for doing the center punch. And notice we did all of that work on one piece of metal. We didn't even have the other piece of metal in place. Okay? Now we're going to put the 2 pieces of metal together for the first time. Okay?
Dad, I have a question.
Yes?
What is this blue plastic for any?
That's a good question. So this plastic is really easy to write on, and it protects the metal from scrapes and scratches, because sheet metal does not like scrapes and scratches. So if you were to accidentally scrape a tool across it, the plastic protects it. If you were to accidentally put your drill bit in the wrong spot, the plastic protects it. And when you finally get everything done, you can peel the plastic off in one clean peel, and now you've got a clean piece of metal ready to put together. Does that make sense?
So it's like a protective shielded armor?
Yeah, but it's like soft armor.
Soft protective armor.
All right, so now we are going to clamp these together. This is where they're going to go together. So we're going to use our sacrificial piece of wood again. We're going to drill into it. And we're going to put our clamp on one side so we can get the clecos going. Okay, so operate the clamp, squeeze it down.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, so that is clamped in place. But when we did that, see how it moved? We gotta be careful that our alignment doesn't move. So let's take that off and tighten it back down. All right, now we've got clean edges. So that's the important part of making it aligned. So next thing we're gonna do is what size rivets are we gonna do? Which ones are we gonna practice?
30.
We're gonna practice your pull rivets or we're gonna practice the squeeze rivets?
Pull rivets.
All right, so we need to go to the bigger drill bit.
The 30.
To the 30. I'm gonna take the drill bit out.
Is it one of these?
Nope, this is the 40, so we're gonna put it back in the bag. Whenever you take out a machine tool drill bit, you put it back in its bag so it's with its friends.
Oh, so it doesn't like to be lonely?
It doesn't like to be lonely and they don't like to get lost.
Ah.
Okay, you've got eyes on, I gotta get my eyes.
Yeah, I do. Oh,
All right,
my glasses.
so now find your center punch and go ahead and drill straight down into that mount. Okay, I'm gonna put a cleco in because I wanna see if we got deep enough into the wood. Don't blow that all over the place. Let me see if I can get that cleco to lock. No, I need you to drill that a little bit deeper into the wood. All right, that'll work. Stop.
There we go.
Okay, now go ahead and drill the next one. That's exactly why we have plastic on there.
I think I got plenty deep in there.
Let's see if we're good. We're good. All right, let's go into the next one. Well, it doesn't help if you knock the whole thing off. That's okay.
No, it's not cleaved into the wood.
All right. So now that we've got all of our holes drilled, This is the other reason we have the protective plastic. I want you to clean off all of the stuff off the table right there. Because what you're going to see, I've already cleaned off all.
I do not like little metal
Okay,
shavings.
take the drill and put it over to the center of the table. What we're going to see is all the metal that's between the metal. So this is kind of important to see and understand. Whenever you drill metal, between the layers of metal, you'll get chips and shavings. And if you have those chips and shavings, they will cause stress points, and you have to clean the metal between the layers. So the reason I wanted this cleaned out is so you can see how much metal comes out of here. That was all metal between the layers. Okay, so now that we've done that, you can peel the plastic off.
Go a little bit faster. Trashy.
All right, what's the next step we have to do?
We have to use this to smoothen it out.
Yeah, so you want to explain why you have to use that?
The reason you use this is to make these little holes not very rough. Because when you feel them or rub your finger against them, they're kind of rough. You have to spin this about 3 to 4 times, then it's good.
Okay, now run your finger over the holes, make sure that they're all smooth.
Smooth.
That one have a little bit of a burr still?
This one does.
Okay, now we gotta get our other piece both sides.
So what I'm doing is I clamped my metal pieces to my workbench right here. That way it's easier for me to rivet in my rivets. So first what I do is I stick the rivet into the gun like this. So that is like this.
We just start at one side and go the other way.
So like right here.
Yep. Does the rivet gun fit all the way into that corner?
Yeah. You pull the trigger until you hear that snap. Then you release. Take out this part.
What's that part called?
I forgot.
It's the mandrel.
The mandrel. And you can put it off with put it off to the side because you will not be needing that. And you do so with all your other rivets. Doesn't want to fit. Whenever you are done riveting, you never leave the rivet gun standing like this. You always lie it down. I have finished my riveting. Now you gotta unclamp it. Why did you put it so tight? There we go. There we go. Put your clamps off to the side. You have completed the riveting video. Thanks for watching.